What's up, guys? So, I want to talk about this guy right here. I think his name's Joshua. I watched part of the video. I basically understood what it was about. And what he's claiming is that he had a dream or vision like 5 to 7 years ago about a Feast of Trumpets 2025 Rapture or Great Deliverance and a 2032 return of Jesus to the earth. Now, I knew that there was a problem with this because the Great Tribulation is only 42 months, and Jesus returns back to the earth in 2029 on May 20th, Pentecost, which, if you start from September 23rd this year, 2025, and go 1335 days forward, which is Daniel 12:12, you come directly on May 20th, 2029, Pentecost, when Jesus comes back to the earth. The next day for Jesus to spend with the Jews in the flesh is Pentecost, not Feast of Trumpets, because he never spent Pentecost with the Jews in the flesh. So that is the day that he returns. And as many don't know, unless you've been following this channel, the Great Tribulation is not 7 years. The 6,000 years is not up in 2032. It's up in 2029 and 2030. So, not to get into all that too much, but that right there told me that I need to talk about this, because whenever somebody tells you that they are having a dream or a vision about a future event, they need to have credibility and provide evidence. Now, this is a recent video. I think this guy has come out within the past year or so with this story about his dream or vision and the rapture in 2025 at Feast of Trumpets, and then Christ returns in 2032. That's a problem because he said he had the dream and vision 5 to 7 years ago. But yet he has no documentation of this dream or vision 5 or 7 years ago. So you don't know if he just watched a bunch of videos and did a little research and made this whole thing up. He could have watched my videos from 2.5 years ago on my page right here, if you scroll down, that were pointing to a 2025 Feast of Trumpets rapture. It's very possible. Yet in my videos, I provided you with the real, actual evidence on why I believed what I believe. You have to understand that that is what a lot of people do. They watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos, do some research, and then make videos saying that God showed them this and God showed them that, when really all it is information from YouTube videos and some research. You see, on my channel, I don't tell you things like that. Yeah, I am led by the Spirit to find information and do calculations and led to research certain things. But I show you my sources, the information, so you can look it up yourself. A thing like this, a dream or a vision, the problem is people are so gullible. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because there's so many other channels saying that the Feast of Trumpets 2025 Rapture, they believe it too. Yeah, well, does he have any evidence from years ago? See, he said that he had this dream or vision 5 to 7 years ago. I think it was like 7 years ago. But yet, this is the only documentation you have talking about it is now. You see, it would be a little more impressive if he had something documented 7 years ago. Does he? I don't know. Does he? You guys tell me in the comment section. Link me into a video of this guy talking about this 5 or 7 years ago. Because if he does, then I would have to step back and think a little more. Maybe he just got half of the dream wrong, and maybe half of it is true. Maybe he really did have a dream. But the other option is, even if he had documentation 5 to 7 years ago about this is that he's in the in club, right? He's with the haves, not the have-nots. So he was told, hey, look, go and say this and do this. It's very possible. Just like George Carlin said, there's a group and you're not a part of it. Well, maybe he's part of that group. Who knows? Who knows these secrets? Secrets. Knowledge, right? Because they, the powers that be, know. So maybe that's the case. Either way, nothing impresses me when a person comes out and claims things that God shows them and they're half wrong. And not only when they're half wrong, but they can't prove anything that they're saying. You know, how do I know he didn't just watch a bunch of YouTube videos? What impresses me is somebody who shows me the legwork. Shows me information that I can understand and look up myself, proving things to me. With sources and everything, like I do with you guys. Things like this, for some reason, people love it. This guy is getting all the clout. But they don't think like, well, he could have just made this up by watching YouTube videos. That's the thing. Scroll down my account. I have like 5 to 7 videos over 2 years ago giving evidence on why I believe the rapture will be in 2025 Feast of Trumpets. And this is 2.5 years ago, documented on my channel if you just scroll down. Now, to me, if I saw somebody do that, then I would really, I don't know if be impressed would be the word, but I would take it seriously. I would take them seriously. This channel doesn't tell you I had a dream or a vision about something without proving anything. It's so deceptive these days, guys. All people have to do is watch some YouTube videos and do some research, and they could come out with all this information saying that God told them this. Well, the whole time they're getting it from somebody who did a YouTube video or, something on the internet. That's the whole thing about this. So again, I'll end it with this. This guy got it half right. Yeah, the Feast of Trumpets, Rapture this year. But Jesus doesn't return in 2032. He comes back in 2029, May 20th, Pentecost. That's it. Exactly 1,335 days from September 23rd this year, the Feast of Trumpets, is Pentecost 2029, May 20th. Not the second coming, but the return of Jesus to the earth, because he never spent Pentecost with the Jews in the flesh. That is the next day he will do that. So again, he's half wrong. So whatever the case may be, whether he's, making it up or he got it from the internet and put something together or whatever, it's half wrong anyways. So I'm not impressed at all. This is the video that he's talking about his dream or vision, at least the one that was sent to me. And it's barely a month old, guys. So if anybody has this gentleman talking about this dream or vision about the rapture this year from like 5 years ago, then send me the link. Put it in my comment section, if you would, please. But I have a feeling that doesn't exist. But if it does, I'll watch it. It made me think just a little more, but it'd still be half wrong. But at least there would be some documentation that has some age on it to actually give a little more credit to what he's saying, even though it's half wrong. So if you have that piece of information, that video out there of this guy talking about this 5 years ago or 7 years ago when he had the dream of vision, link it in my comments. Thanks. But I have a feeling that doesn't exist.
This next patient is interesting. I've been following the case for years. 29-year-old female, diagnosed as acute schizoaffective disorder. The usual indicators: depression, anxiety, violent acting out, delusions of persecution. The delusional architecture is fairly unique. She believes that a machine called a Terminator, which looks human, of course, was sent back through time to kill her.
That's original.
And also that the father of her child was a soldier sent back to protect her.
No.
He was from the future, too. The year 2029, if I remember correctly. The year 2029, if I remember correctly.